Hey friends, this is the Mrs. Wolfie from Our Half Acre Homestead, and today I'm making sausage for the freezer. The reason I'm doing that is because the butchered pig we've ordered, that butcher doesn't make sausage. Never heard of that, but he doesn't. So we went to Costco and I bought 2 big pork loins, fresh. Never start from frozen unless you're going to eat it right away or cook it right away. Because you shouldn't thaw meat, season it, and then put it back in the freezer. You know what I mean? I've popped my loins, my fresh loins, into my fridge freezer for about an hour to get them firmed up for slicing, and we're going to start with my spice mix. So first things first, we want to get our spice blends ready. Now normally I would use fresh chopped and sauteed onion, but I have these wonderful dry leeks and wonderful dry chives, so we're going to use them instead. You're going to need crushed red pepper flakes, the chili flakes, black peppercorns, salt, most important ingredient, fennel seed. I tried to get fresh, they were out, and sage. Now I actually have some sage already from last year in this jar, so let's do this. Now, whenever I make sausage, I have to write the recipe down according to how much meat I have. And I have 15 pounds of meat. I'm going to cut a couple of chops off for supper. So that's going to put us down to 14 pounds of meat. So this is for 14 pounds of meat. All right. It says 3 pounds of onions. Should I put them in just like this? No, I guess I should grind. I'm going to grind half of them. Okay, so I'm going to put some leeks in the grind. Okay, so we're going to add, I don't know, I'm going to say that's 1/3 cup of dried chives. Now my chives are coarse. If yours is powdered, then you would use a tablespoon. And I've got about 1/2 cup, almost a cup of leeks in there. Now here's the part we don't want to mess up. This was the cheapest thing I bought yesterday. I went into Bulk Barn and bought fennel and came out. That's the first time in my life I've gone into Bulk Barn and come out without paying $40 or more. So I'm going to put in 1 tablespoon. It may not be, this is more than a tablespoon, but we like it fennel. But you want 1 tablespoon of fennel seed. If you're using fresh fennel, I would chop up, or a half a fennel finely chopped per 20 pounds of meat. Okay. I have parsley I have to chop. We need 3 tablespoons. Oh, there's my tablespoon sitting right on top of my salt. Dopey me. So we want 3 tablespoons of salt. I use pink Himalayan salt because it's loaded with every mineral that makes up your bones. Every mineral that makes up your bones is found in pink Himalayan salt. So there's 2 and 3. And I don't think that's going to be enough for 15 pounds of meat, so I'm going to add 4. Black pepper. Okay, I wrote black pepper. I'm really tired. 3 tablespoons of black pepper. I'm going to use peppercorns because I'm grinding this all fresh. 1, 2, 3. Do you know what I forgot to get at Costco yesterday? Friggin' instant mashed potatoes. I have to go next pay. Oh, okay, that's for the parsley. All right. 1 tablespoon chili flakes. If you like it really spicy, you can go more than that, but We're spicy enough. 2 tablespoons of sage. This is my sage from the garden last year. That's rub sage. This is what it looks like. We're going to now put on our grinding thing here, and I'm going to take it over to my Ninja blender, and I'm going to grind these, and we'll be right back. For those of you who don't know, I didn't do a video on the peppers because you saw me do that last year. But patrons and I went unlisted live and got out the music box, and we were like, I don't know, close to 2 hours last night. Okay, so let's put this away now because we now have everything we need. Now, before we get the meat out of the freezer, I have to chop the celery. Oh, so let's start with that. I need approximately 1 cup of fresh celery. You can use dry. If you're going to use dry, use 9 tablespoons of dry parsley. Now this is Italian parsley, so I'm wondering if I should just put it through the, ooh, there's a dirty leaf. When I bring them home from the market, I chop the bottoms off and then put them in water. This is going to be set aside for my broth. I didn't want to, somebody mentioned putting my peppers in my broth, and I said no, because peppers don't do well in broth. Maybe a hot pepper, but not regular peppers. They give it an ammonia taste if you put peppers in your broth. So, like if you're going to can it, I wouldn't put peppers in it. All right, let's get the celery in here. And at one point, you will probably see me. Now, this is my sausage roll recipe. These leeks are really strong. I made myself some noodles last night, and I put a pinch of leeks in there, and it just boomed up the flavor. So I'm just going to give these leeks and fresh parsley a coarse chop. And then any twigs in here I can take out. These I'm going to dump into the sausage bowl. The meat bowl. I'm going to need a bigger bowl. I'm going to get my dish pan out. I'm going to drop this right into the dish pan. There's our nice flecks of green parsley and leeks. Oh yeah. See, there's sausage, and then there's beautiful sausage. Now you can make this any flavor you want. You could take the sage out, put apple in, or all kinds of stuff, but there we go. Now that's ready. Now I'm going to open them on paper towel because they plump meat with water. I had to take them out of the big freezer because you want pork chops for supper? Look, guys. Look at the liquid coming out of this. And I just put a bowl over there. Could you pass it to me?
This big stainless bowl?
Yeah, the big stainless bowl. Yeah. Thank you. The water just drips. So I open it up over a paper towel to get that off. Whoops. So that I don't have a really, really messy, it's going to be messy, but I don't want a really, really messy cutting board. I like to not freeze them, but just firm them up in the freezer for a couple of hours. First, I'm going to cut off a couple of chops for supper. So we're down to now 14 pounds of pork for grinding. There's 4 nice little chops to go in the freezer. Start 2, and then 2. Push the air out. These milk bags are awesome for meat because you can really squeeze the air out of them. I use a Sam Bear meat grinder. It has always looked after me. And this is how it goes together. This is how it goes together. There's the blade. I'm using a medium grind disc. And then this gets screwed on. Nice and tight. We put this in here and there's a locking key. Wait, make sure that's on tight. You can feel it there. You can feel it click in. And then you tighten this to hold it all in place. And now, there is a meat tray for the top of these, but I don't use it. Oh, there's my plunger, because I used it for my zucchini. Okay, so here is our sausage. I have been sort of mixing it as we go along, but now it's time to really mix it. Again, I strongly advise if you're going to mix this with your hands, wear gloves. One little nick on your finger will feel like the devil himself is torturing you if you mix this with your hands. Just like meatloaf, just like bread. You want to make sure, this is why I layered the spices and seasonings in as I was grinding the meat, because they need to be thoroughly mixed. And the last thing you want is someone getting a patty that's got, 2 tablespoons of seasoning in it. So, yes, I could use my KitchenAid, but I'm not sure that Sam's bowl would hold all this. This is a dish pan, folks. See what I mean? You get, you know what this is really good into, folks? Using it in stuffed peppers. Oh my God. It's so good. Okay. Alrighty. I think, if you see uneven shades, then you want to keep mixing. It all needs to be kind of the same color with flecks of green. You want to roll your seam side. Now, somebody showed me this a long time ago, and I forgot about it, or let's get our sausage in there like this. Come on, get out of there. I need a better spoon than this ladle. So, I'm going to put in about 2 pounds of sausage meat. I'm going to lay it down, and I'm going to flatten it out in the bag. Make sure you get all the air out. I'm going to roll this. Put these bags and stuff. Oops. Over here. Remove this out of the way. There's my spatula. Alright. Now I'm going to use my rolling pin to flatten it all the way to the edge of the bag. Alright. Okay, so now I'm going to take my spatula and I'm going to go in thirds like this, and I'm going to press down. So maybe use a little bit less meat so that you have room to make these marks. There, 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 and there. And now what you have is sausage patties that when you open this bag and take them out of the freezer, you can just break them apart. I hope. I may have put too much meat in this bag, so we'll try that again. Put these on a cookie sheet like that. And one more time, make sure that I have all of their... If it was a little bit thinner, it would work better, but I'm not rebagging that, okay? I'm going to take this out to the freezer, and then I'm going to continue. I want to make sure that we're not getting too much meat at a breakfast meal, you know? Because this is more of a breakfast sausage. Now, push it down into the bag. Squeeze all of the air out. One bag of sausage meat for the freezer. Bring this right up as close as you can to the opening of the bag. This. Same way you would do for patty. Now I'm going to zip it. And I'm going to roll it up. Putting meat in bags if I can't be sure that all of the air is going to be out of it. And yes, I could have vacuum sealed it, but this is just as good. I'm just putting an elastic on that, and that's going to go into the freezer too. And I'll be back to show you what I got in sausage meat when I'm done. So here we have 9 breakfasts for 2 people, because Howie will eat 2 and I'll eat 1. I have 5 packages of rolled sausage and 3 packages. So even though I put these in bags, you can make anything. You can make patties with this, meatloaf with this, or you can cut it up. I just did it this way to keep the air out of the bag. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I got 17 meals of sausage made today. This is the Mrs. Wolfie from Our Half Acre Homestead saying, when the butcher that butchers the pig you ordered doesn't make sausage, then you make it yourself. Mwah! Take care, God bless.